welcome to Northside, man.
Hi, I'm Kristen Murray, and I work over at Juxtaposition Arts.
So my name is Kadeem Washington, and I work in the Environmental Design Lab at Juxtaposition Arts.
I'm Preston Dorset. I work in the Environmental Design and Tactical Urbanism Labs at Juxta, and I've been working on the Upper Harbor Terminal project since I started.
We've been working on Upper Harbor Terminal for a few years now, and over the years we've brought the community here on tours, by bike, walking, and also by bus. But this year, of course, we couldn't do that because of the pandemic. So we wanted to make this video tour to show you what's here now, as well as some of the things that we've been thinking about.
The Upper Harbor Terminal is a 48-acre site in North Minneapolis that extends north of Lowry and goes past Dowling along the Mississippi River. It was built in the 70s and the 80s as the northernmost barge port, and it closed in 2014 along with the lock and dam. This section of the Mississippi was the meeting place of the Ojibwe and Dakota nations and was taken in the Treaty of the Traverse de Sioux.
One of the main access points is going to be down Dowling Avenue, across 94 and Washington. We're working with Public Works and a group of designers and planners right now on these connections from the neighborhood to the Upper Harbor Terminal. It's really important that Northsiders have safe access from the neighborhood across 94 to get to the river and the future park, whether it's by walking, biking, the bus, or driving. And there'll also be a new parkway with a walking and biking trail along the river, and that will open up the riverfront to the community.
This site is currently owned by the city, and it'll soon be transferred to the Park and Recreation Board, and we're currently in the process of turning this area into a park. Some of the things we've been doing is talking to the community and seeing what people will want. We've been doing our research, coming up with zines and different things that kind of present and show what could possibly be here, and just getting that feedback. And it's been a process, but we're definitely getting where we want to be. Some things we've heard are that people want to interact with the river. They want to gather with family and friends, get exercise, and people want to feel like it's part of the North Side and to be relevant to the North Side community. The park will happen in stages, so there will be different ways to stay involved as the whole process moves along.
Right now at Juxta, we're working on the public art plan for the future park and the public realm. We're looking at public art in a really broad sense, trying to integrate it into the infrastructure as much as possible, and also extending it into programming, so looking at outdoor classes, events, and activations that could happen, as well as the spaces for them to happen. We're also thinking about sculpture and murals, of course, but I think some of the most interesting aspects will be sort of integrated into how you move around the park, designing components that think outside of the box of what city planning and park planning look like, as well as teaching some history about the site. To help us think about what to include in the public art at Upper Harbor Terminal and what stories it should tell, we've come up with 5 storylines. Histories of ecological harm and disconnection from this place, environmental justice work and vision, artists' appropriation of the Upper Harbor Terminal, settlement history of the North Side, and food sovereignty in Black, Native, and POC communities. The park board aren't necessarily the first people to think about this as a park. I think a lot of graffiti artists have turned this space into a sort of outdoor gallery, and we're hoping to bring a little of that and acknowledge that in the future park.
And Northsiders, this part is for you. We want to hear your input. There are ways to share your input online and also virtual events coming up that you can be involved in. So go to upperharbormpls.com for more info. We thank you for your time, and we hope to hear from you more in the future.